fully constructed in my head. I have to be a wife, give kids, things that, oh my God, I had already set those expectations in my head just because of like the way that I grew up. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing,
Right.
but that is the nuclear family of our society. That's what the sociological term is. But husband, wife, a couple kids, and well off enough where you can provide a solid education and everything. That is the nuclear family.
What do you mean
You
by
know,
nuclear?
nuclear is like the actual term that I'm saying. It's the just the stereotype for what is the most common slash what is catered to in society. So if you look at grocery stores, if you look at school systems, if you look at a lot of basically a non-nuclear family or a like an abnormal, not necessarily abnormal. I'm trying to think of
Dell says, I can imagine a group of people with that experience may not mind the house burning down.
exactly.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I mean that's the whole point of hopefully having these conversations is to figure out, open
Well,
some people's experience.
but that's me. And at the same time, like it took me going to college, like living my own life, being able to look at myself, like introspect enough to say, okay, are these all things that I necessarily agree with? Now, did I break down all of those things that I thought that I was like, okay, these are expectations that I like didn't set for myself? Okay, so let's talk about like me getting married. That's an expectation that was set for me before I was born, that society is just like, yeah, that's a thing, that is the normal thing that you should do,
Hmm.
right? Literally, whatever. I'm told that, yes, okay, so I sit there and I think, all right, do I really want to get married? I do. That's a thing that I genuinely do want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do I want to have kids? Yes, I do. I want to experience giving motherly love. Like that's something that I want for myself in my lifetime.
Well, I wouldn't say that all of that is socially constructed. I mean,
Oh no,
I,
no, no, it's not. But
I,
at the same time, I have to acknowledge that that is something that I want for myself.
right.
That is something that I do not have to do on anybody else's timetable other than my own body, whatever clock and everything like that. But
Well,
also,
the
do I
the
necessarily? Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, do I necessarily want to be a serial monogamer?
Hmm.
Do I want somebody who bounces from one monogamous relationship to another monogamous relationship to another one, where I am consistently declining in who I am as a person every time I
Right.
do? When in reality, okay, yes, do I believe in a monogamous relationship for myself or like the person that I end up with? Yes.
Hmm.
But do I necessarily need to do that before I actually am getting the it, when I before I'm actually in the space where that's what's going to be most beneficial to my life,
Right.
or I genuinely want at that time? Or do I feel like that pressure because of the fact that that's shoved in my face from the time I was like born?
Right, and so I'm not trying to say that marriage is for everybody because Kaylor said marriage ain't for everybody though, and I'm not saying that it is, and I'm not saying that there isn't some sort of cultural construct behind it, but I do want to state that there are importances to marriage that, evolutionarily speaking, have developed into our own biology. So, for example, Darwinism states the fact that it's part of our species to evolve and pass on. Like that's the main theory about Darwinism. You want to pass on your genes to the next generation. Now, whether or not how you do that, I'm not saying it's gonna be
Does it have
specifically marriage.
to be in a marriage? No, but my thing is,
No,
really does not have to be in a marriage.
I'm
It
not
is
saying it doesn't, but I
no, no, no.
am saying that marriage has its benefits.
Yes, marriage does have its benefits.
Yes.
Marriage has its benefits for people who want that specific life. Just like being in a polyamorous
Mm-hmm.
relationship has benefits for somebody who will be benefited by that
Now
lifestyle.
I know I'm like the only person that's like married in this chat right now, so I'm like the odd man out defending my side. But I'm not trying to say I'm defending marriage right now because I understand
No,
again.
no, but the thing is though, like me, like I also want to get married. I'm not saying this is a social construct, but it is by definition. Because what it is it's literally putting a definition on on an emotional relationship between two people. You know what
Mason
I
says marriage is overrated, and Dell says yes, you are the only one. I'm the only one here. Like I'm defending this side.
Look, marriage is dope. Marriage is great. Like it's something that if a monogamous relationship between two people is what will most benefit you, and you feel the need to put a label on it, do so. You know what I mean? By all means, that fits into society's standards. Then a lot of things get better, like health benefits that you can share.
Well, the
Like,
only reason why I say that marriage has its benefits is because humans are generally social creatures. We have mirror neurons in our brains to identify what the actions of other people do. We literally we have these mirror neurons to connect with other people. We are social. So there have been benefits where people living in long-term relationships, not toxic, we're not talking about those cases right now because there are obviously toxic relationships that go on for years. Those are bad for your mental health. I'm talking about the good ones. Those people turn out to be better than people that just live on their own. Typically, on average, and I can pull that study up. I will send that to you guys.
Me, like for me, especially, like
And I just want to make this point. Dell said marriage is cool and it's beneficial, just not for everybody. I completely agree, and that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, agreed. No, but it's one of those things where wait, Rick, I was gonna say something and I forgot it.
I just feel like right now there's in 2019 this is another thing that people are trying to burn the house down with. There's been this whole overhaul with the sex culture where you know what, we don't need to stay in this monogamous relationship anymore. You know what, we can just go fuck whoever we want. And I mean that's been partially because of the rise with Tinder. Mason and I have talked about this. Partially with the rise of Tinder, there's been this whole like sexualized culture that's kind of been promoted right now. And I'm not saying that this whole promotion of sexualized behavior is necessarily a bad thing. I just think we need to organize ourselves in a way to understand it.
I mean, okay, so I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing. Hello. Sorry, my cat just got off the table. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing. What I'm gonna say is that our society, look at our generation.
That's not what I'm saying, Dell.
Okay, our society at this point is very progressive, yes, but if you look at our generation, if you look at millennials, so millennials is like 1996, I believe, is the legal cutoff. So 1996 and whatever between 1980.
Yeah, I don't think I got you. Millennials.
Yeah. Millennials, okay, but there's the millennials, and then there's the Gen Zs, which technically I'm Gen Z.
Really, I'm a millennial.
I'm 21. Yeah, and you're millennial. But when you were growing up, at what age were iPhones constantly like around you? At what age were you like really, really encountering people on iPhones like regularly? Actually, you remember that?
iPhones, probably 2009. I would say 9th grade, because I remember before the iPhone was the Razr.
Like, you have an iPhone 3?
Dude, I got an Android. I never had an iPhone.
Did you ever have an iPhone? No.
Android all the way.
Okay, but like when did people start getting like the iPhone like 3s, iPhone 4s, like the little short funky ones?
I don't remember because my mom didn't do that with me. My mom, you know, gosh, it had to have been 11th grade, so that would have been 2011. So it's not been that long.
Okay, wait, but when were the touchscreen phones?
I want to say 2010 to 2011 because I don't think a lot of people. I remember people still having iPods in high school.
Okay, so I just want you to. Okay, so that's you, right?
Yeah.
Look at. So then it's me. I'm after that, right? So I got my first iPhone, I believe, in maybe seventh or eighth grade.
7th or 8th grade. Yeah, that's about the same time. Maybe
Yeah,
like 2 years older.
iPhone 4 or something like that. But that for me, no. So you got your first touchscreen phone. I had my first phone when I was in fourth grade.
Yeah, I had my first phone earlier than that. Touchscreen
Yes,
phone was later.
flip phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you go to my little sister, who had an iPhone XR at 12 years old, 11 years old,
Mm-hmm.
going into sixth grade. Slash, all of her friends had them before they got out of elementary school,
Yeah.
and we were like the slow ones on that train. So what
Hey, I gotta end this stream. I am so sorry. I am about to miss my appointment if I don't get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I just realized what time it was. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have to drive all the way to Hamilton Mill right now, and I'm in Roswell, and I have to make it there by 1:30, and it's 1:03.
How far is that?
That's like 30 minutes at least.
Okay, Gil.
Fuck! Oh my goodness. Casey, we're gonna have you back on, okay? Because I like this conversation. No, I don't mean to like repeat everything we've already said. I mean, you're a good person to have conversation with.
Okay. Long story short, now people are addicted to phones, and it fucks with our self-esteem as a generation, and so our entire society is now fucked, and we are not doing as well as we could be doing, and all of the young kids aren't going to be considerably worse, and we need to stop having babies because we're overpopulated. Anyway, okay, have a good day, everybody.
I think I agree with most of what you just said right there, to be honest. No, I definitely think maybe some population control might be.
From our phones, it's literally like shooting up with heroin every time you wake up in the morning. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, social media is crazy. Okay, Casey.
Okay, get up and go to your freaking.
I know, but this conversation was good. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for stopping by. Casey, this was our guest. She was fantastic. All right. Thank you, Casey. You